Greetings from Seoul, Korea, and welcome to the IPL5 Korean Qualifiers for League of Legends. I am Tasteless. With me is Andy. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. If you guys are unfamiliar with me, I am the GSL Coda Starcraft caster, but here I am the resident newbie to kind of drive the show along. Andy, ELO 2300, right?
Correct.
All right, so Andy's going to be giving you knowledge bombs nonstop.
I'll try my best.
I'm here to kind of try to look cool. I don't know. But it is a treat to be here. We had some great games yesterday.
We did. We had 4 great games. Slightly one-sided, but...
Yeah, I would say one-sided. Definitely no comebacks yesterday, but you could really see the skill exhibited yesterday. Definitely check those games out if you haven't already. And honestly, I learned a lot. I learned a lot watching the games, and I learned a lot listening to you. It was really cool. So this is our first time here at GOMTV doing League of Legends anything. So I expect good things in the future, guys, or better things in the future, I should say. But this is really cool. League of Legends, the biggest freaking game in the whole world.
Yeah, currently I think it is the most played game in the world right now. Just surpassed World of Warcraft, I believe.
Yep, it beat WoW. Statistically, 25% of Koreans play League of Legends. I would say, as far as like net skill-based Koreans, potentially the best in the world. Did not win the world championship.
Unfortunately not.
Unfortunately, being a resident of Korea, I was hoping they did. I did watch, so that was really cool, by the way, the world championships. Huge. I never thought I'd see something so big in North America.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, that prize pool, first of all, I think the biggest in esports history. Awesome teams, great games.
Great games, good stuff. And today we're going to be bringing you the best Koreans we possibly can, the best Koreans here competing in League of Legends. Here's the schedule for today. As you can see, today is October 22nd. We're going to have Group B winners, Group B losers, and the Group B final match. So also be sure to tune in for the finals on November 5th. And here's what the brackets are looking like now.
All right, so first, for our first game, we actually have Najin Sword versus AZUBU Frost. Or actually, is that correct?
As far as the brackets go, where we are, Najin Shield, Zenix Storm in the winners. As you can see, CJ Entis and AZUBU Blaze. They're dead nerds. Those nerds died, man. Those nerds did not make it, but they're still in the tournament because we do have a losers bracket. Again, a very compact tournament here. And as you can see on the other side over here, Najin Sword and AZUBU Frost.
Yeah, so for our first game today, we're gonna have Najin Sword versus AZUBU Frost, and after that we will have LGIM versus MVP White, and I believe the second game is part of the losers bracket. And
yes, it's correct.
Loser of match 1 will face off the match 2 winner.
Yeah. So it's going to be 3 League of Legends games today instead of 4. Again, this is such a treat to be down here, guys. This is what the losers bracket looks like right now.
Yeah, so in the losers bracket, we have AZUBU Blaze, CJ Entis, LGIM, and MVP White. We will be seeing 1 game from this bracket and 1 game from the winners bracket.
It's going to be sick. I got to say, we saw some real dominance, especially from Najin Sword yesterday. That was insane. That was really impressive stuff. So today, here's what we got. Najin Sword, AZUBU Frost. I'm really excited about this one especially. MVP White against LGIM. They were the ones that sort of underperformed yesterday, but who knows? Everybody's got bad days. And then, of course, match 3. We don't know because we got to wait for the tournament to progress to really see, what's going to be duked out there. Again, guys, thank you so much for joining us here at GOMTV.net. If you're just strictly a League of Legends nerd, check us out at the GSL, whether it's Code S or Team League or Code A, whatever, I don't care. Check us out. We'll bring you the best StarCraft 2 action you've ever seen. But, of course, how could we not do League of Legends 2? It's too big, it's too popular, it's too competitive, and it's too good of a game.
That is true. I mean, being a player myself, I've been playing this game for quite a while now.
How long?
I think just about 2 years.
2 years?
So, I know the ins and outs.
Did you play any other MOBAs before?
I actually have not. My kind of gaming background started with, just like Warcraft 3, World of Warcraft, kind of just
Were you competitive in Warcraft 3?
I was not,
I'm actually asking out of curiosity. This is not theater you're saying. Sorry, go ahead.
Actually, no, I only play custom games, use map settings.
Okay, cool.
Sheep tag or, the different maps they had on the Warcraft 3 client, but
stuff like tower defense.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Sure.
The quick, the fast, the fun. So
yeah, and if you guys aren't familiar with me, I was a StarCraft pro gamer for. I'm old. I'm like 28. I was like for 9 years, 10 years. I was doing that. But here I am. I'm happy to host this show. It's going to be awesome. So here is the lineup here for AZUBU Frost.
All right, and in the top lane we have Shy. Bot AD will be played by Woong. Cloud Templar will be in the jungle, Rapid Star in mid lane, and Mad Life on support. And actually, AZUBU Frost was one of the teams that made it to the World Championships.
Yeah.
So actually,
we got some heavyweights here.
So actually, this first game, these two teams were the two Korean teams to qualify for the World Championships. So I guess it's kind of like a Korean, rematch.
Exactly. Here we got Najin Sword. They played very well yesterday.
All right, and in the top lane we have Magnoon, Prey on bot AD, Watch in the jungle, Song in mid, and Kane on support.
Again, so much on the line here. This is the winner's side of the match. So the farther you get, the better. Obviously there are second chances here, but it's a situation where you get past this point in time in the tournament, you're so deep, you're set.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna get the game started up as soon as humanly possible. We got to go through the, I don't want to use the wrong term here. What would it be? Character picking.
Just the pick and ban phase.
Pick and ban phase.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You can just call it pick and ban.
By the end of this week, I should have the vernacular down. But we had short notice to actually get this whole thing started. So, okay, so the pick ban phase, we're going to go into that. Maybe this question is too meta, but what should we expect from these two guys?
I mean,
or these two teams?
We should see standard team comps, so we have the support with the bot lane AD. We have a most likely AP mid, a tanky bruiser / AP top. And then we'll have, some kind of tanky supportish bruiser type jungle. That's, the current meta, but, these teams are always trying to switch it up. And
how experimental are the Korean teams compared to other microcosms, other regions of the world?
They like to experiment sometimes, but actually yesterday we saw a good example of them experimenting. AZUBU.
Oh, that's right. I think it was game number 3, right?
Yeah, they went, a bot AP, so that was very unusual. And here we go into the ban phase. And on AZUBU's side, we see an Evelyn and Orianna ban first, and on Najin's side, we see a Jax ban come out. Evelyn and Orianna are generally mid characters. They're very strong in the mid lane, so I'm guessing those two bans are targeted towards Najin's mid player. And on Najin's side, they have banned Jax and Skarner. So that is actually a top lane and jungle ban. So, these are pretty generic bans, and I think both teams just don't want to deal with these champions. So I think that's just what's going on right now. And we see a Jace ban come out.
How unusual are bans like this? We see Shin's just been banned.
Yeah, I mean, these are all fairly common bans. Nothing too unusual, nothing too crazy, but we do see a Sona pickup for AZUBU. So, Sona has always been considered a very strong support. She has like an AoE stun, she has a heal, she has poke. Just great utility for the team and a very safe first pick. And on Najin's side, we have a possible Ezreal pickup. And we're just waiting for Najin's second pick to pick his champion.
Again, a lot of thought put in here.
Definitely.
This is League of Legends is not a game of maps. It's a game of character makeup, or champion makeup, I should say. So, you know, so much, you know, on the line here. They pick one, the other side can't have that, that character, so got to have the right order there.
And actually, looks like we're going to have, yes, an Ezreal and Lee Sin pickup for Najin.
All right. Our first team's turn.
And, a strange Blitzcrank possible pickup.
Why is that strange?
Because Blitzcrank is usually played as a support character.
Okay.
But they already picked Sona.
Okay, so...
And, you know, so having 2 supports on a team is, you know, it's quite uncommon. I mean, Blitzcrank could be going AP, he could be going AP mid, but, you know, generally not a very strong or, you know, very much played at all.
Okay, so a little bit of unorthodoxness here.
I
don't know if unorthodoxness is a word, but
they might just be trolling us, you know, with a fake pick, but you know, we never know.
Yeah, maybe they're gonna switch it. They haven't locked in yet, so yeah.
So I mean, the Maokai pick looks like it's gonna be locked in. I'm still not sure about the Blitzcrank.
Maokai is tier 1.
Yeah, he's really strong. You know, very solid jungler. He has, you know, good initiate. You know, he's pretty tanky.
He's good for laning too, right? Is that true?
He's okay at laning. You know, I've seen people go, you know, like AP Maokai mid, and you know, it's actually pretty strong. But generally in competitive play, you only see Maokai going to the jungle.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually that Blitzcrank ban was switched to an Irelia pick.
Now, how is Irelia a pick here? What would you say?
Irelia is a very strong top lane champion.
Okay.
She has a lot of sustain. She's pretty tanky. Her passive actually reduces incoming CC, like the duration of incoming CC. And actually, yeah, it looks like Najin will pick up Katarina and possibly Blitzcrank. So actually, Ezreal and Blitzcrank, if they do decide to lock that in, that will be their bot lane, and with Katarina in the mid. But it looks like they
potential change here.
Yep, it looks like they have switched to Zyra, so Zyra will be supporting Ezreal. And then Caitlyn pickup, maybe with a. I'm guessing that will be an AP Malphite mid.
But they switched out of Caitlyn now.
Yeah, so
actually a lot of different characters going on here.
Yeah, so actually because they still need their mid lane and they still need their AD carry. So I mean, I'm not exactly sure how their lanes are going to work here, but they could be pulling out the same strategy that they did yesterday and pick up that Kennen bot again. Yesterday they actually ran an AP Kennen bot lane with, I believe. Do you remember what support the Kennen went with? It might have been a Sona. I would have to double check that, but it looks like they will be switching to a Kog'Maw and a Nid.
Yeah, they both rotated out of that, actually.
Yeah. And it looks like, yes, those will be their picks. Their Kog'Maw will be going bot lane with Sona, and Anivia will be in mid.
All right, the final pick before we start this match.
Looks like a possible Malphite pickup. Najin still needs their top lane, and Malphite's a very strong top laner.
All right, we got 30 seconds about until we are going to know for sure.
And it does look like they lock in, and these teams are ready to go.
All right, I'm ready.
Yep, and I mean, looking at these two team comps, you know, actually both teams have very strong team fight capabilities. You know, on AZUBU's side, there's, you know, Irelia, who's very tanky, has, you know, high damage output. You can't really CC her. You know, she'll just be running around, you know, trying to zone out their carries. But here we have, you know, one more look at each team's picks.
Do you feel like going into this, there's a favorite purely based on the champion makeup that we have here?
Both teams have, you know, quite good team comps right now. You know, both these teams proving that they were the two best teams in Korea.
All right, who's stronger for champion makeup? Who's stronger mid game? Who's stronger late game?
I would say AZUBU has a better late game.
Okay.
And Najin Sword will have the upper hand mid game. Because actually, Lee Sin tends to fall off late game. He's not as useful as he is early game as he is late game. So, you know, if Najin Sword wants to win, they will have to secure the early and mid game. They will have to get a couple kills. They will have to shut down some of the AZUBU Frost carries. But, you know, if AZUBU Frost can just turtle, you know, kind of sustain through the early and mid game.
Now, when you're saying turtle, and I mean, I'm speaking newbie right now, but I know we do have a lot of Starcraft people watching as well, so we're probably not as acquainted with League of Legends. When you're saying turtle, does that mean you just don't lose turrets? Does that mean,
play safe. Turtling just means, you know, playing safe, you know, trying not to engage if you think you're going to lose the team fight, you know, only making smart plays. You know, there's actually really defensive turtling, which is just hugging towers, not even going out into your own jungle. You know, that's like late game turtling where you're just trying to make the enemy, you know, use their fair.
Overstep or something.
Yeah, but I think this time I'm referring to turtling as, you know, just you know, not giving the other team the early game advantage. You know, not giving them the opportunity to snowball, because if Najin Sword does snowball early in mid game, they will just destroy AZUBU Frost. You know, AZUBU Frost late game, they have the Kog'Maw, who is super strong late game. You know, Maokai will be really tanky. Irelia will have, you know, be really tanky, plus have a lot of damage. And same with the Nivea. You know, on Sword side, on Najin Sword side, you know, Lee Sin will kind of fall off late game. You know, Zyra Ezreal will still be quite strong, but you know, if AZUBU Frost can just, you know, stun Katarina, keep her under control, and, you know, make sure they don't get hit by Malphite ulti, then AZUBU Frost should have no problem taking this game.
Sick. Well, I gotta say, I'm especially excited for this match. These guys played really well yesterday. If you didn't see yesterday's games, check them out. And of course, in League of Legends, when we cast this, there's a 3-minute delay. This is not, they're not in our studio now. Obviously, this is Gom's first time doing League of Legends, so think of this as a pilot. But basically, you know, this is an online match. We got a 3-minute delay, which is why we're still sitting here talking. But once you know, we're ready to go, we're gonna get into this right away. All right, so if you're a gambling man, who wins this?
I would say, I don't know. I kind of want to give it to Najin Sword right now.
You want to go Najin? Najin Sword played very well yesterday.
Yeah, they did play really well.
They were very impressive.
Yeah. Same with the AZUBU Frost actually. You know, both teams, you know, phenomenal. I don't know. I'm just feeling Najin Sword today.
Yep. Feeling Najin Sword?
Yep.
Well, this is going to be a lot of fun.
And actually, you know, you could also watch for the invades from Najin Sword.
Who's got a better jungler here?
Early game, Lee Sin is probably the strongest jungler.
Okay.
Early game.
But then Lee Sin can fall. So Lee Sin's going to come out of jungle and try to gank a lot early on,
try and
then
counter jungle. You know, try and put pressure on the lanes. But
so basically, sorry, please go ahead.
Oh yeah, but you know, the thing about Lee Sin is that although he has a very strong early game, his late game he's not as useful.
Okay.
He
So really, you know, for Lee Sin, he's going to try to control the tempo.
Yeah.
Early on.
He's want to set it, you know.
Right.
Get his team some early kills.
And then from there, he's just, you know, he's just, I guess, additional meat.
Yeah. Basically,
for the team.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're about to get this loaded up,
and
let's do this.
Started. All right, so we have AZUBU Frost on blue side and Najin Sword on purple.
All right.
Yeah, I think it looks like a pretty standard opening. You know, everybody but the support getting, you know, just boots 3 potions. The 2 supports picking up, you know, Fairy Charm plus.
Did you know there's a Starcraft map that was actually inspired by MOBAs? Did you know that?
Oh, really?
Dual site, yeah.
Oh, wow.
But it was the Dota version, but a map where it was diagonally cut in half lava, half.
But actually, Lee Sin will spot Irelia hiding in that brush. It looks like they might try and invade AZUBU's blue, but it looks like they just warded it. Or they just warded that.
So they're going to throw down a bunch of site wards down here because obviously intel is everything. You know, it's not just, you know, what you see, it's what you don't see. Okay, there's 3 heroes suddenly missing, nobody's in mid or something. There might
watch
be an
out.
ambush going on.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they got to get that set up. We do see, invasion openers occasionally where they're trying to gang up on one individual champion, but it looks like so far, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm totally okay being corrected here. This looks like a standard opening so far, right?
Yeah, correct.
Fairly passive.
Just getting some early wards out, getting some map control.
미니언들이 생성되었습니다.
It looks like Lee Sin will be starting red, so he will actually be using Smite, I believe, and he actually might be trying to counter jungle Maokai when Maokai goes to do that blue buff. Bot lane respectively getting jungle creeps.
All right, so a little bit of jungling going on over here.
Oh, so actually Lee Sin is coming down with blue buff without Smite.
Leashing the blue buff here.
And same with the bot lane for AZUBU Frost. So it looks like both teams are going to be giving their junglers a no Smite leash.
What junglers would prefer Smite actually? Or is that more based off the team makeup?
It's a little bit of both. Basically, essentially, what getting a no Smite leash on your first buff means is you have the option of either counter jungling,
okay,
because you'll have Smite and you can smite the enemy's buffs and steal them, or like what they're doing right now is they are getting a fast level 3. If you get one small camp plus both buffs, you'll be level 3 from the starting. So both Maokai and Lee Sin are level 3 right now, while as bot lane is still level 1. Basically this just gives them an early level advantage. They can, if they want to, they can come out and gank early. But here, I think they're just trying to farm up. They don't see any opportunities up. It looks like Lee Sin will be coming up here, but the ward will spot him, so they will know he's coming up here. But I think this lane is too pushed for Najin to do anything right now. It looks like Maokai will be trying to steal those wolves off the Najin sword.
Can I ask you a stupid newbie question?
Sure.
Is there any moment where you don't get flash pro level?
The thing about flash is that it is so. So here we have an engage onto Anivia. He is slowed, but he did not get stunned. But she still has flash, and she is safe. And she actually still has her egg form, which is her passive.
Exactly. Okay, so because as far as I could tell, and I have some novice League of Legends playing experience, but you just always need flash because of the guaranteed escape. Because dying in League of Legends is too much of a penalty to your team's
it's kind of
chance of winning.
Yeah, somewhat. Basically, the reason why flash is considered the best summoner spell is because of its utility. You can flash in to engage, you can flash out to escape. Basically without flash, it is much harder to make plays and be unexpected. With that flash, it gives you that unexpected factor. And actually, we see Anivia coming up top here to try and gank Malphite.
Oh, whoa! It actually avoided the wall there. That was really nicely
done.
done.
He will just get out of there. So he actually backstepped there and actually dodged the Anivia.
Yeah, he baited that out, it looked like.
Yeah. And actually all 10 of these players, I believe, still have flash. None of them in too much danger at the moment. So it looks like Maokai's just kind of holding in, farming up.
The game's calmed down a little bit here.
Yeah, and it looks like Lee Sin, might be trying to go for Maokai, but I don't think they can dive him.
And it looks like we got just the standard early game here. They're both grinding out.
Just passive farming. Actually, looks like they might dive onto Irelia here. Oh, a big fight in top lane. Malphite almost going down.
Both players very low.
Flashing. Here comes,
and we're gonna have first blood. And a recall out. Very nicely done.
A very, very well
the minions
played.
were at the
and actually, Zyra getting taken out, and Ezreal will most likely be going down here. It looks like he actually might be getting out.
Yeah, I think he's going to escape here.
Yeah.
Actually, it looks like Najin Sword, our purple team, almost all of them going to have to basically go back to base.
Yeah. So actually, here's the gank onto Zyra. does flash, but still gets snared. Exhaust goes down, and Kog'Maw with the pickup. Ezreal poke trying to get Maokai, but he does almost go down, but he will flash out and live.
So a narrow escape there. But, you know, even though it wasn't a kill, they got a recall back to base.
Yeah, Ezreal has no flash
right,
now.
and then they're going to lose map presence.
Yeah, exactly. You know, those 2 kills were really exciting, actually. You know, the first blood going to Katarina. She did see that, you know, top lane was going to fight. She did sneak around back, so the ward wouldn't spot her. You know, picked up first blood.
Really, really nicely done here.
Yeah.
So far by AZUBU Frost with a lot of map presence and really asserting themselves over here.
Yeah. You know, just a small engagement in top lane. I mean, they're both getting fairly tanky and, you know, getting some of their early mid game items. So, you know, once they get those out, we shouldn't see that many kills in top lane. But we actually see Anivia almost going down. I believe she still has her passive, so even though that Katarina did finish her off, she would not have died. You actually see Lee Sin here trying to come in for this red buff. There are no wards, so he does not have vision. Maokai will pick that up.
As far as wards go, by the way, you know, it's actually fairly evenly distributed.
Yeah.
It does look like Najin's sword, the wards are more towards the corners of the river, whereas AZUBU Frost's wards more in the middle here. So AZUBU Frost with more mid knowledge, Najin's sword with more corner knowledge.
So it looks like they're trying to invade onto this blue buff. Looks like Maokai will come here and check it. He will spot Katarina in that brush. It looks like he will go in on that stun. Katarina tries to get out. Lee Sin 2v3 right now. Maokai trying to come in here to try and back them up. You know, they'll all get out, but I don't know if they'll be able to steal this blue buff actually. Actually, Lee Sin does have smite, so if he does Q and then smite immediately, he will be able to get this. Oh, all right, he does not
barely gets that in time. Second here, massive engagement.
And a double, and I think a triple kill. No, that was a double kill though. Yep. Wow. Katarina showing that she is a viable pick. And actually Lee Sin picking up that kill onto Maokai while he was recalling. Wow.
All right, by the way, guys, as far as you know, minion kills go, we got Kog'Maw here dominating at 67 here for AZUBU Frost. And meanwhile, on the other side, on the other team, we got Ezreal doing very well, 64 now. That's my story. So go ahead, please.
Yeah, I mean, the top lane, you know, Malphite is kind of out CSing Irelia, you know, by about 15. In the jungle, Maokai is slightly out farming Lee Sin. But it looks like Anivia, she doesn't have her passive actually, so, you know,
Is she going to be taken out here actually?
She actually might be taken out.
She's not fast enough. Yeah, she will be.
She has no summoner spells either, yeah, so she will be taken out by that. You know, out of position, didn't have the ward coverage.
Right.
Yeah, so it looks like there is a small engage in top lane, but you know, as I said, you know, once these two champions get, you know, their first couple items, it'll be really hard for them to kill each other.
Okay.
You know, they in top lane we should just see, you know, just them just trying to farm and get a CS advantage. Let's see, in bot lane, you know, pretty even. Kog'Maw actually has a kill on Ezreal, so he is ahead, but I think, yeah, all the other lanes are pretty even right now. Najin sword with that almost 1k advantage now because of those two kills, but overall very even. Both teams are in it.
Yep, we got 2-4 as far as kills go right now. The gold. Najin sword with about 1k lead here. That is mostly due to those kills. No turns been taken out yet, but
so
here we have another engagement.
Onto Irelia. She does have flash.
Away.
Yep, and she will get out of there. But she will be in some danger if she does not play safe. Her flash is down now. It looks like Maokai here and Lee Sin just trying to hold mid lane while their team's mid lane or roaming. Actually, Lee Sin kicking Maokai back, but Maokai having to flash out of there.
He's still on the run, though. Maokai narrowly escaping there. Meanwhile, at bottom lane, as you can see here.
Oh, so a flash ultimate by Sona does miss. That reaction timing by these players, you know,
really sick.
Really, really amazing.
I mean, you just barely whiffed that.
Yeah, you know, 0.1 second too late, she would have been stunned and she most likely would have died. But, you know, she knew the oncoming danger and she did manage to get out.
What should we expect here from this 2-on-2 at the bottom right?
Well, actually, Sona has no flash and no ulti, so it looks like AZUBU won't be able to engage onto Najin for a while, or at least Najin's bot lane for a while. However, on Najin's side, Zyra still has her ultimate, so we could see a possible engagement onto AZUBU Frost by Najin Sword. But I mean, I honestly think without one of the junglers coming to help the lane, it's going to be really hard to see a kill in this lane. But it looks like Lee Sin might be trying to solo. No, he is just coming in to clear some wards in bot lane. The AZUBU Frost does not know he is there.
All right, so he's hiding right now in the bush.
So he's just waiting for the lane to push up.
Is he going to go for Kog'Maw here?
They might just go for Sona because she has no flash. But it looks like,
good call. Okay.
But it looks like, you know, they kind of sense something, and you know they're just gonna back out of there.
It's a bunk strat, so just back out.
Yeah. So actually, it looks like
first dragon kill here.
He's trying to solo this. AZUBU Frost does not know. They do not have wards on dragon.
I think most of this game has actually been fairly wardless, I have to say.
Yeah.
It's been a game much more of, I think, reaction versus intel.
So actually, Lee Sin will pick up that first dragon kill. He did solo it. He picked up that oracle, knew the enemy did not have wards on that dragon, and just, you know, took it out. So he's just walking around here, you know, clearing some more wards. You know, Malphite really tanking now. Got that Sunfire cape. Looks like Irelia can't do anything actually to Malphite at this moment. Actually, a small engage in the mid lane. I believe Anivia, she should have her passive up by now, so, you know, even though she does lose all her health, she will have that egg form to try and get back. But actually, AZUBU Frost warding their own blue buff to see, just in case Lee Sin tries to counter that.
Covering their own turf
Lee Sin
right now.
coming in. I believe this will be a tower dive and easy pickup for Najin's sword.
Yeah. Najin, these guys are good when it comes to the ganks.
Yeah, very good. Looks like blue buff will be passed off to Anivia here.
All right, looks like bottom lane's been pushed forward a little bit. Kog'Maw being a little bit cautious. There are no wards on the bottom right side of the map.
Yep, and Katarina here just...
are there any wards out at all? No, there's one ward, excuse me, here from AZUBU Frost.
Yeah.
But, I mean, other than that...
I think there's just, there's only a couple.
Now, I feel like yesterday we saw more wards here. Maybe I'm like such a Starcraft player, I'm like, you know, where's the scouting? But why is this? Are they doing a good job of denying the opposing players wards, or is this a different strategy?
In their inventories, you know, you see a lot of, or, you know, at least 4 of them having wards in their inventory, so, you know, they're not trying not to ward. It's just, I think they haven't been in the position to ward.
Okay.
You know, with all these small skirmishes going on, all this roaming, you know, possibly they just didn't have time to ward. But now we'll probably see a lot more wards coming out. We do see a pink ward going down for the AZUBU Frost bot lane, clearing out that ward in their own brush. So their jungler will be able to sneak through the lane into that brush. And actually, Irelia here sneaking in. She will get spotted by those seedlings. They will know Irelia is there. And actually, it looks like they're trying to go for Dragon, but Lee Sin actually soloed it.
Yep.
So they're in for a nice
surprise. They know that actually they're behind as far as bank can go.
Yeah.
Because that Dragon wasn't taken out.
So it looks like, I believe, Irelia will just try and go back to lane. It looks like she will probably lose this turret, though. You know, Irelia in a pretty bad spot right now. She did die 3 times. I mean, her CS is actually, you know, not bad for how many that she has. She's only about, you know, 20 CS down from Malphite. Yeah, the first tower of the game will go down for Najin Sword. It looks like both a 3v3 in mid lane or in bot lane.
Coming in, it looks like we could have a death here for AZUBU. But the last second backing off now. And nope. Actually, I don't think anybody's...
So actually, a very long fight here. 1-for-1 goes down. Kog'Maw will get 2 kills.
Oh, wow.
I believe Kog'Maw did get 3 kills from that engage. All 3 of the players in bot lane going down. Lee Sin, Ezreal, and Zyra all going down to that Kog'Maw. Lee Sin actually also did lose his oracles. So did Maokai. Both teams do not have oracles anymore. You know, that is a loss for both of them.
So this is going to put the sentry advantage way up then.
But AZUBU Frost making a great play there. They are back in this game.
That was a tough engagement too. I mean, that was a 3-on-3. I mean,
it was.
You got to read your opponents. You got to read your teammates really well.
And actually, Sona flashed out of Ezreal and Zyra's ulti. Initially, a Najin sword wanted to insta-kill, insta-gib the enemy Sona. AZUBU Frost's Sona. However, Sona did have her flash, and she dodged both ultimates, and we'll see a replay right here.
Yeah, let's check that out one more time.
So if we look at this, we see the snare go off onto Sona, I believe. The flash ulti onto, but she does dodge both ultimates. Maokai flashing in, stunning Zyra, killing her immediately. Lee Sin tries to get out, but actually decides to go back in. Kog'Maw flashing. Actually, Maokai coming back in.
Low. Yeah.
Snaring Ezreal. Kog'Maw picks up the second kill onto Lee Sin with his ultimate and just auto-attacks Ezreal to death.
Yeah.
You know, a great play from AZUBU Frost. Kog'Maw actually now completing his Phantom Dancer. He's going to have a huge power boost with that. And, you know, bot lane has to be careful now. They can't be given any more kills to Kog'Maw, or Kog'Maw will just annihilate the entire Najin team.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because Najin had such a lead here. But, you know, that brilliant play there by AZUBU with the double kill, you know, the triple kill, excuse me, they're managing to catch up. Really nicely done. These guys are definitely, you know, an even match.
Definitely. And actually, the goal difference only being about a little over 1K now, but, you know, 1,000 gold divided between 5 players is nothing.
Yeah, at this phase of the game, for the items they're going to be buying, yeah absolutely.
You're probably spending more on wards and potions anyway, so, you know, not a huge advantage at all. It looks like Malphite, excuse me, trying to gank this Nivea, but I think she's just too pushed up onto her own tower, you know, to get ganked at this moment. She does know, the AZUBU Frost team does know Malphite is missing. So
Najin's tower is about half health here too.
Yeah, and it looks like, you know, bot lane is pushing pretty heavily. They will see this Malphite coming down to bot lane. Looks like, oh, actually, Dragon does come up right now. Najin has that perfectly timed. It looks like they will get this uncontested. Yeah, I don't think AZUBU Frost will be able to contest this. They do have, Najin Sword does have 5 members here. They will pick that up.
All right, as you can see here.
So it looks like,
go ahead, please, sorry.
You know, Lee Sin is trying to look for a gank down here in bot lane, but actually it looks like they're just trying to push this
top tower. I was about to say, is this tower about to be taken? It looks like we're going to have to...
Yeah, I believe top tower will be taken down. I think they're just trying to trade turrets right here. They're trying to push bot lane while 2 of AZUBU members push top lane. So you know, they're just trading towers here. They actually did pick up the actual engagement onto Nivea. I believe she does have her passive. She might be able to live through this. Katarina and Malphite trading the tower aggro, but she will. Oh yeah, she will go down.
Nicely done by Najin. Picking up the lead once again.
Yes, they actually traded the tower aggro, you know, between taking hits so that neither of them would die. Actually, the second tier tower on Najin's side might go down. It looks like it will go down, but actually,
mid tower actually under pressure.
They might get mid tower.
So many turrets are actually dying in the course of 2 minutes right now.
Yeah, I think 4 turrets or so have gone down in this past.
Suddenly, the entire landscape of this map is different now.
So it looks like Lee Sin is chasing down onto Maokai and Irelia. Looks like they're trying to cut them off, but I mean, I don't think they'll be able to take him out right here. I mean, they might be able to, but
Nice.
Yeah,
Really good
Katarina currently is too low to try and fight.
Are they going to try to push middle?
Yeah, it looks
turret
like
here?
AZUBU
Middle
Frost
right?
is trying to push bot lane right now.
They're just trying to swamp bottom lane then?
Yeah, and Ezreal is just picked up blue buff, his own blue buff, so he should be not running out of mana anytime soon. Just more farming going on.
There seems to be heavy lane pushing here from AZUBU.
Yeah, from both teams actually.
Yeah. What does AZUBU need to do? I know they're behind in kills and slightly behind in gold. I mean, what do they need to do right now in order to get a lead? Not that they're massively behind, but I mean, what's the strategy from them we want to see?
For AZUBU?
Yeah.
Okay, so right now, basically, they should just protect Kog'Maw. You know, Kog'Maw is at
the carry,
yeah, it's so strong right now that, you know, Katarina and Malphite will probably be going in for Kog'Maw. So, I mean, at least one or two members of AZUBU Frost has to be, you know, protecting that Kog'Maw at all times, such as Sona. But other than that, you know, look for Irelia going in for Ezreal or Katarina. You know, look for that stun and actually an engage onto Sona. She was out of position, just getting caught by basically two CCs and just not being able to do anything. She just gets insta-melted, and she actually might have lost Oracles there. You know, I'm not sure if she had Oracles, but I believe she did. So, you know, not a good sign for AZUBU Frost.
All right, as you can see, we're in that phase of the game now where we start to see the players move in large groups and large gangs here. And it looks like they're going to go for the Baron, are they?
It looks like they're setting up for Baron. I don't think they can do it just yet. All members of AZUBU Frost are up. It looks like they're just trying to get control over the Baron area, clearing out the wards. Zyra does have the Oracle, so you know she's just walking around the Baron area, trying to clear out all the wards in there. Now they're actually trying to bait AZUBU Frost into checking that Baron area because they have no wards, and because of that, they actually might get caught here. I mean, but I don't think they're going to fall for it, actually. I mean, honestly, if AZUBU Frost had started that Baron 30 seconds ago, they would have had it. You know, AZUBU Frost had no wards in that area. You know, honestly, if they just did it, they would have had it already. But actually, it looks like an engage on Tyria. She does flash out of it, but it doesn't look like she will be able to get out of it.
Yeah,
too many players on
Stick
her.
a fork in her, she's done. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, too many slows, too many snares. Looks like they might be looking for the engage, but you know, a couple ultimates from Najin's sword down right now, so it looks like they will just try to push their lanes out. A 3-man push on mid for AZUBU. Looks like Anivia is coming up behind them.
Well, Najin's sword is probably going to lose his turret over here. Maybe I spoke too soon, actually. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they actually saw the other members of Najin's sword coming to that mid lane to defend. So, you know, wisely they backed out. One member of AZUBU Frost has just come up, but she was down. So, you know, they just don't want to get outnumbered here. You know, Kog'Maw putting out some, you know, decent damage onto Malphite. Malphite actually stacking a lot of armor right now, so Kog'Maw's not doing that much damage, actually. Just a blue buff steal for Najin. And you know, just keep looking for these Baron dances, as I like to say.
Yeah, well, we're in that phase of the game where the Baron region of the map is kind of the focal point.
Yeah. So you know, just look for both teams to try and have control over that area, have those wards. You know, denying the enemy vision. Looks like a 5-man push onto this mid tower. I mean, it looks like they should be able to get this. It's too low for Najin to defend it. Looks like it will be going down. And looks like they might just back out here. Najin's bot lane is being pushed right now, so Kog'Maw's actually moving down there to clear that up. You know, some more of Najin's players just going back, you know, iteming up.
Right.
Trying to be as strong as they can for this next team fight coming up. And actually Dragon just spawning. Look for both of these teams, try and group up in that area. Actually looks like Maokai's going back right now. He does, or actually Sona picks up an Oracle, so AZUBU Frost will have access to that True Vision. And it looks like Najin
We're going to have the engagement over here with the Dragon.
it looks like
Najin Sword, I gotta say with these guys, they are so good at keeping the lead.
Yeah.
They are so good at this.
Yeah, they are good at choking the opponent, not letting them secure objectives.
Right.
Staying in the lead.
It really indicates a sign of patience here.
Definitely. They actually waited in that Baron area for, about a minute.
Yeah, I think about a minute and 10,
they could have just killed Baron, but, they decided to wait. Not risk going for.
Sometimes with, I'm sorry, go ahead, please.
No, I was just saying that, if Najin did decide to go on that Baron while AZUBU had no vision, it would have been risky. Honestly, I think they could have got it, but they decided they didn't want to risk, getting ace, getting the Baron stolen, so they actually just waited in that area.
Sometimes with games like this, it's about making the least mistakes, not making the smartest moves.
Yeah, a lot of time.
I see that with Najin.
Yeah. That's a really good way to put it.
All right, looks like once again we're in Baron territory.
So it looks like, just some poking, trying to get control of this Baron area. This Baron is so important right now.
All right, as you can see, a little bit of juke and jiving here.
It looks like Maokai is looking to engage right here. He is trying to flank AZUBU Frost, but it looks like AZUBU Frost will just try and push down mid. It will force AZUBU Frost to come to defend this tower. It looks like they might...
They're going to take this out immediately.
Yeah, it looks like Najin will get this tower, and AZUBU is trying to engage.
This is a really weird situation. They're coming up from behind.
Yeah, from behind, but
looking
it looks
for the
like
picture.
That Malphite is zoning that Maokai out from
Whoa!
It looks like a brilliant Anivia wall onto the enemy team. Maokai flashing out. Maokai so tanky right now, tanking 3 of the enemy teams, countering up top, taking out Maokai. Malphite ulti going down. Sona gonna be taken down by Ezreal. Kama almost going down too. Ezreal might be able to pick this up. He will not be able to do that.
Whoa, it might be an extension here.
Oh, but he does pick that kill up. But they did
1
tower
kill
dive.
and 2 kills.
Actually, that was a even exchange. Najin Sword coming out slightly on top of that. They did only lose 3 players from actually AZUBU. AZUBU Frost's Anivia actually getting taken to egg form, but I don't believe she will die. She's too tanky. But actually,
well,
there's Katarina here, maybe trying to finish her off.
Oh,
but Anivia too strong.
Sick.
Anivia is actually out of mana. She might be going down, but she does stun. Her actual catalyst does proc. She does get the wall off.
Sex appeal. That was sick.
Just amazing play.
That play made my brain feel good.
Actually, yeah, Anivia's Rod of Ages, she leveled up. So what happened was she healed and got some mana back for that wall to escape. If she did not level up there, she would have died.
That's so sick.
Actually, we'll see a replay. Yeah. So here we see Maokai going in, but then flashing out. Katarina does ulti him. She does kill him. She's going hard onto Anivia, but Anivia is actually fairly tanky right now. Katarina does have to back out. She will live from this, I think, yeah. Anivia will try and go back to this team fight. Zyra, I think, I believe she does go down in this team fight. Yeah, Anivia getting another brilliant wall, killing Zyra, dodging the Zyra passive. She flanked, I wish we could have seen a little bit more of that, but actually, wow.
Back here to Baron.
AZUBU Frost picking up the Baron buff. I'm not exactly sure what sparked that team fight, but this looks like actually Najin Sword coming out even on that exchange, even though AZUBU Frost had that Baron buff.
Really nicely done there.
So, it's still a bad exchange, for Najin because, AZUBU Frost did get that Baron.
Yeah.
But, even though AZUBU did secure that Baron, they still killed 3 members of AZUBU Frost.
AZUBU Frost is so tenacious. Looks like we're going to have a quick replay of that.
So a quick replay of how this went down.
Poor
So
Baron.
actually it looks like AZUBU Frost just rushed Baron right after that team fight. Najin Sword was not fully in position for this. It looks like they are just trying to burst this down. And Nivea coming in to support her team. Malphite just trying to zone these players out, but they don't have the numbers right now. It looks like AZUBU will secure that Baron. It looks like Malphite and all these ultimates going down. Kog'Maw going down, but his true damage will be enough to take down Lee Sin. And wow, just so much action.
So much going on in this game.
Yeah.
You can really see the skill level in this game compared to our other games yesterday. I mean, I gotta say, AZUBU's doing a great job. I mean, they're being so tenacious here. Najin Sword, again, still just not making mistakes.
Exactly.
They're very patient.
Yeah, but I mean, AZUBU's looking, you know, much stronger now.
Right.
They did secure that Baron. I mean, the gold disadvantage is still, you know, almost 4,000 gold, but, you know, at 31 minutes, you know, with all these big items already coming out on both teams, this 4,000 gold advantage is not that significant.
Right.
Actually, the two members holding Baron buff on AZUBU Frost's side, actually, you know, they do have that increase in AD, increase in AP. They have more health regen. So, you know, that Baron buff also, you know, artificially buffing AZUBU Frost's gold.
All right, so as you can see here, AZUBU, I think we're almost at the point of having another engagement here. They're going to go for the Dragon, but this does give an option here for Najin Sword to come in.
Yeah, it looks like they will try and contest this.
All right, they were going to try to blindside that. Dragon was triggered, but is now returning. Kind of whiffed that that wall there.
So they're trying to get some stuns off, trying to poke. So actually, this team fight is very important. Whoever wins this will have the upper hand in this game.
And we'll get the Dragon, too.
Exactly. These two teams are pretty much, they're pretty even right now. Both teams can win this. Actually, a stun onto Malphite. He does get low, but he will flash out of there. A lot of members on Najin, you know, very low. Looks like Katarina does go. She does get exhausted, but she will get 2 kills. She will go back in. Another ultimate onto Katarina. Amazing Zanya's, but actually she will go down from, actually she will live.
Whoa!
Wow, quadra kill on Katarina, but she does go down to that Anivia. And wow, another 4 for 4
That was
exchange.
crazy.
Oh my goodness.
All right, we're going to push in here for AZUBU mid lane right now. Might try to just do as much damage as humanly possible to that turret.
Katarina getting a quadra kill in that last team fight. We will see a replay right now.
Anivia, it's going to be very easy to push mid lane. Sorry, going on to the replay.
So it looks like Malphite gets stunned here. He decides to flash out. And all five members are grouped up, but actually Sona only hits 1 member. Malphite goes back in, but he's too low, just dies immediately. Katarina gets a half-channel ultimate on, gets that reset, gets another reset, uses her second ultimate in that team fight. Zanya's for the damage, and then kills Sona, gets the quadra kill, but Anivia finishes her off with that Flash E plus ultimate.
All right. Well, looks like all the characters or champions, I should say, have now respawned.
Yep, and actually Kama picking up that Guardian Angel. He will be slightly harder to kill, and he will, in fact, come back to life once he dies. It looks like Najin Sword here going for this Dragon.
Gonna get that gold off the Dragon. Red Baron is not respawned, correct? Or is it respawned by now?
The Baron will be spawning in, I think, in 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay.
2 or 3 minutes, yeah. I don't have an exact timer on that, but look for it soon, definitely. I think right now, you know, you see they're so evenly matched right now that these fights are just incredible.
They really are. Really great engagements. Easily so far, out of the 5 games of League of Legends I've casted, this is by far the best.
Yeah, I think this is the best game we've had so far. You know, like I said at the beginning of the game, you know, AZUBU Frost does have that stronger late game. You know, and what's happening now is, although Najin Sword did have that early game advantage, you know, they were ahead early game. You know, this is where AZUBU Frost's team fight or team comp is going to start shining. And you know, Najin Sword has to take out that Kog'Maw. You know, not only Kog'Maw, but Anivia as well. Anivia right now, you know, super strong, you know, pretty tanky. Same with Katarina though, actually. Katarina is very scary right now. Getting that death cap, getting that Zanya's. You know, she has a lot of penetration. I believe she's working up towards I'm guessing that might be a Deathfire Grasp. I'm not sure exactly what that Amplifying Tome will be built into, but looks like both teams are trying to, you know, clear out their jungle, get their buffs, push their lane. But actually, an engage onto mid, a flash stun or a flash taunt onto Zyra. Zyra will go down with this stun, and that is a dead Zyra. Actually, you know,
nice job there by AZUBU. AZUBU's been doing a good job of holding their side of the map.
Yeah, they actually used a lot of spells for that though. They actually used Sona Ultimate. They used Maokai Flash. You know, if they decide to team fight right now, you know, Najin Sword will have a chance to win because, you know, they don't have access to that Sona Ultimate. You know, although they don't have Zyra, you know, Malphite plus Katarina is devastating. So, you know, AZUBU Frost still has to watch out. I don't believe they will be able to go for this Baron right now because four members of Najin Sword are up.
Here's a quick question now. Are they as patient as Najin Sword? Because we saw Najin Sword
we'll
wait it out.
But actually, it looks like they're
going to go for it.
They're just going to go straight for it. That Kog'Maw does have a lot of damage. He will be doing percent of Baron maximum HP for every auto attack. But it looks like AZUBU Frost will back out. So it looks like they will engage onto Najin's Sword. Najin, Katarina shimpoing out. Malphite here taking a lot of damage. Katarina ulti channeling, but I believe she does Zanya.
This is a massacre!
So it looks like she does go down. 3 members of Najin still up.
Sword on the
beautiful wall.
Flashing
but
through.
they all flash through. 3 members of Najin's Sword still up. They will, they will get out of that. I don't know if they can still go for this Baron though.
Well, we're gonna find out.
Actually, it looks like, a stun almost going down onto Ezreal. Oh, the Zyra, I believe, will go down. Anivia trying to flash out of there.
For the
But
team here in order
another
for the Baron
wall.
to be killed up.
But actually, Anivia's team here trying to back her up. She might go down. She will go down. But Irelia right on Ezreal's back. Ezreal will go down from this, and that will be an ace.
Aced, yo!
Wow. Just amazing play from AZUBU Frost.
Guess what, Baron? You going extinct.
And it looks like they will get this Baron. They will. They do know how to switch aggro. They do know how to take this. They will take this down. And just a great,
that was really nice.
Great game.
I like how about she basically had to sacrifice herself in order for the Baron to be, even though the Baron's killed afterwards, it was kind of a weird situation.
It was worth it.
It was worth it, yeah.
Exactly. They got the ace with 3 members of AZUBU Frost still alive. They were able to secure that dragon.
AZUBU Frost, I think, is actually going to come back. They were behind for basically this entire game, but they are pushing hardcore now.
Yeah,
there's only 1 exterior turret remaining here compared to the 2 for AZUBU Frost. So Najin's Sword is feeling the heat right now.
Yeah, I mean,
and the Baron buff, I mean, they should be able to push all their lanes across the right side of the map.
Yep. And, you know, the gold advantage, only 1K in favor of Najin, but, you know, 40 minutes into a game, 1,000 gold is pennies.
Yeah.
Is literally pennies, so these teams are, you know...
It means nothing. I mean, they're not going to, you know...
Exactly.
They're going to buy some health potion or something in the space of the game. They've actually built, you know... all the items. They have all the armor that they're going to need.
Yeah, and it looks like, you know, some of these players, you know, trying to finish up their builds now. You know, Kog'Maw picking up that last Whisper now. Very scary. Will be melting every player on Najin Sword. They will have to deal with that. You know, Ezreal also finish up his builds. He is going for a Quicksilver Slash now. But, you know, right now, I mean, it's just AZUBU Frost, late game team fighting. Oh, and it's engaged onto Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw will, I believe, he does have Guardian Angel. Katarina Zanya's. She does get the first kill. She does get the set. She does proc Kog'Maw's Guardian Angel. Kog'Maw will be going down on this. And actually, Katarina will also go down, but I believe Irelia will also die in there. But actually, Irelia going really heavy onto Najin's Sword. But actually, 4 members of Najin's Sword are still up versus this one Anivia. I believe Anivia should be going down here. She does not have Egg Form, and that is an ace
Sick.
for
Counter
Najin.
ace.
Wow.
Najin doesn't mess around, man. Now they're going to be pushing hard in mid here.
Wow.
And this turret's going to go down, easy peasy. Now
Super
the
tanky.
inhibitor. Did they want to go for the inhibitor first, or they want to try to hit the second turret? I guess they don't have a minions with them, so I guess they have to go for the inhibitor first.
Yeah, so they're just gonna take this down. I believe they'll just go back, get some more items.
Okay, see, this is
They actually might
Najin Sword's patience exhibited once again. They're not getting too greedy.
It looks like they might try and push this top tower down because they do have such a big minion wave up there. It looks like they will get this.
Wow.
They'll probably just back out now. Dragon is up. They will steal this blue buff before going back home. And actually, let's see a replay.
Yeah, let's check that out again. A lot happened back there.
Yeah, so actually we see the engage onto Kog'Maw with that Malphite. Kog'Maw does get stunned with the Katarina ultimate coming from behind, but Katarina does get stunned with the Sona ulti. Katarina comes out of Zanya as he kills Sona, jumps onto Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw's Guardian does get proc, but he is surrounded by 4 members of Najin Sword. Katarina going really hard onto AZUBU Frost, but he does go down, and then the rest of Najin Sword team just kind of catches up to AZUBU Frost and just wipes him out.
All right, meanwhile, trying to sneakily take out that dragon.
Yep, and just trying to get, you know,
just that.
every advantage they can get right now. They just won a huge team fight, got that inhibitor down. You know, they should be looking to either push top or bot lane now. I think it would be wiser for them to push bot lane because that second tier tower is still up. So, you know, if they decide to push that bot lane, it will be easier than pushing the top.
Yeah, I agree completely. Well, you know, it's funny because AZUBU, for a second, had this lead, and Najin Sword just slapped that down.
With, like I said, you know, as long as they take care of that Kog'Maw, if they can prevent Kog'Maw from doing damage, they can win these team fights. But if they just leave Kog'Maw to free reign and just dish out as much damage as he wants to, Kog'Maw will solo kill the entire Najin Sword team. That's why you see Malphite only, you know, even though his ultimate only hit one person, who was Kog'Maw, they won that team fight because they got rid of him. You know, Katarina also jumping in towards Kog'Maw, you know, annihilating him immediately.
Yeah.
You know, Najin Sword really has to deal with this Kog'Maw if they want to pull this victory. You know, on AZUBU Frost's side, you know, Kog'Maw cannot get caught.
Well, Kog'Maw is such a staple carry in endgame.
The thing
DPS,
about,
its DPS is just so high, as you can see here.
Yeah. You know, Kog'Maw just cannot get caught, though. He cannot die. He has to stay alive for AZUBU Frost to win.
Does Kog'Maw want to stay with the group, or should Kog'Maw keep pushing bottom? Actually, well, as I say that, Kog'Maw's going north. But
I mean, they have to group right now because it's in the point of the game where, you know, you have to have
one guy alone is just going to get ganged up on.
So, you know, basically what Kog'Maw has to do is just stay behind his tank line. You know, Irelia and Maokai are going to be going into Najin Sword, so Kog'Maw has to stay behind them. If he gets caught with that Malphite ulti or Katarina ulti, he's just going to die because he's so squishy. Even though he has so much damage, he dies, you know, with a couple auto attacks, with a couple spell casts. He's really squishy. So he has to dodge that Malphite ulti. He cannot get caught. You know, he just needs to stay behind his tank line and let them soak up all the damage.
All right, we got lanes being pushed hardcore here
so it looks
by
like
Najin Sword. I mean, they're starting to swallow up AZUBU Frost right now. AZUBU Frost, they can turn this kind of disadvantage into an opportunity if Najin Sword overextends. The question is Najin Sword really going to do that? They basically had zero. Oh, hold on, I thought we were having engagement now. I thought we were. Anyways, my great narrative got messed up. You know, if they overextend, we can punish it.
So so actually an engagement from Maokai onto Ezreal. Looks like Ezreal ultimate will go down with Maokai ulti. Malphite will ulti Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw will flash out of that. Kog'Maw is free to do damage right now, but he is being zoned right now by Lee Sin and Ezreal. Ezreal will try and take down Kog'Maw, but it looks like only one player from each team will be going down. Those two tanks, Malphite and Maokai, the two tanks of each team going down.
But sorry, please go ahead.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I know its top lane is flooding right now here for into AZUBU Frost base. I think we might actually be seeing
whoa. So actually, Katarina taking Anivia down to her egg form, but I don't think she'll have enough damage to take Anivia out. Actually, Najin Sword taking out bottom inhibitor of AZUBU Frost. Their top inhibitor is open, so they do have the option to push that whenever they want.
And I think this inhibitor could just go down right now.
They should be able to defend this. Kog'Maw is really strong right now. Katarina cannot 1v1 Kog'Maw. Baron is up as well though, so you know, look for these two teams to try and control that, even though Najin Sword, you know, might just be able to walk up and take it. But actually, it looks like Kog'Maw and Soda might be trying to 1v2 this Baron right now, while the rest of their team defends. It actually looks like Aurelia is coming down here to help out as well.
This is a sneaky move here.
It is.
There's no way that right now Najin Sword's expecting them to be a Baron. They're probably expecting them. Hold that thought.
Yeah, actually, but Najin Sword knows they're there.
Oh, they do know. Excuse me.
They walked through minions to get there. But actually, it looks like they might be able to get this down. Whoa, the Sun Ultimate stunning all of them. They do pick up the Baron. Engage onto Lee Sin. Lee Sin will get out, but an amazing Baron for AZUBU Frost. They are in this still.
Yeah, they are hanging on.
But actually, it looks like Najin might just rush mid, get those two.
They got these super minions pushing out.
Yeah,
now.
getting those two remaining inhibitors.
This is their Alamo right now. AZUBU Frost going to go back here. They have to hold this. They have to wait for all their inhibitors to come back.
So actually, they might just engage onto the. Maokai does engage onto Najin Sword. Maokai taking a lot of damage here. Katarina going in. Malphite ulti going down. Kog'Maw just doing free damage currently, but he is getting focused now by Malphite. Irelia does Air Guardian.
I think they're gonna have to go out
but
here.
It looks like
the buff, they're just too strong.
Yeah, the Baron buff will sustain AZUBU Frost. Actually, one member from AZUBU Frost did go down. Maokai did go down. None of Najin's players did go down. They did not manage to pick up that inhibitor though.
Yeah, it's still there.
It's still there, so that, you know, they successfully defended that. Thank God. So. Yeah, I mean, just look for these teams just to kind of heal up. It looks
like, yeah, basically Najin Sword's going to regroup and heal up, and then they're going to try to re-engage one more time. Now, you know, once that bottom inhibitor comes back, I mean, they're not going to have many more waves with super minions here.
Yeah.
That can help them. So, Najin Sword is still in the lead, obviously. I mean, look at how much purple is bleeding onto the blue. But at the same time, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game for AZUBU Frost. You know, they are still in this. Kog'Maw actually going double Phantom Dancer. He doesn't have lifesteal. He is just going for a almost pure damage build. You know, a lot of these players finishing up their final items. Anivia only having one item left. Kog'Maw maxed out. Ezreal about to be maxed out, Katarina maxed out, Lee Sin about to be maxed out, and same with Malphite. You know, this is getting to really, really late game where one team fight can decide the entire course
absolutely.
of the game.
If you get 3 or 4 kills, or you know, and the other team has only lost 1 or 2, I mean, you could push all, mess up all the lanes.
Yeah, so,
and go back. Sorry, go ahead.
So basically, you know, I mean, if AZUBU Frost manages to ace Najin Sword right now, they could potentially just end the game in one push. You know, even though Najin Sword still has all three base turrets, all 3 inhibitors up. You know, if Najin Sword does get aced by AZUBU Frost and AZUBU Frost has enough members, they will be able to just push straight down mid, end the game. So actually, this is coming down to that last team fight.
Yeah, we're at the climax here, folks. Now, it looks like Najin Sword, almost all their members here, ready to engage. They're going to get a few more buffs. They basically do have map control. There's no way that anybody from AZUBU Frost can leave their base without Najin Sword coming at them. AZUBU Frost does have the Baron buff, which may be one of the reasons why Najin Sword is going to go ahead and buff up here instead of trying to engage.
Yeah, so they're just trying to waste AZUBU Frost's Baron right now. You know, they don't want to fight a team with Baron buff on them. You know, Baron buff will give a huge advantage to the team carrying it. So, you know, I think Najin Sword is just trying to stall right now. They know that, you know, AZUBU Frost's base is wide open. They have no more base turrets. You know, all 3 inhibitors exposed. And they're just waiting to find that right moment when Baron runs out.
Alright.
So actually, I think AZUBU Frost's bottom inhibitor will be respawning quite shortly. In the next couple seconds, I believe. It looks like they might just try and rush these inhibitors down, but actually Baron buff just runs out. It looks like Najin sword.
Are they going to try to wait for the Baron to respawn and then try to barrel in there?
It quite possibly. I think.
I guess that would probably be the safest thing to do, right?
I think at this, because Baron will is going to spawn in about 3 minutes after the buff runs out. You have to wait 3 minutes before Baron spawns.
Right.
So,
but I mean, they could theoretically do this. I mean, as AZUBU Frost can't, I think, easily leave their base. They have to push their lanes out first.
Actually, but since all 3 inhibitors are up now, no more super minions will be coming into any of those lanes. So they can push out now. You know, they don't have to turtle as hard. Yeah, actually,
well, looks like we're just gonna have an engagement here in mid then.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like, you know, both teams are just gonna kind of group up mid, you know, and fight around. I'm guessing the Baron area. You know, this Baron is coming up in the next couple minutes. Najin sword. Najin sword has 2 options basically. They can either just, you know, rush the base, try and get those inhibitors down, or they can just kind of wait for Baron to spawn and fight in that area. If I was Najin sword, I would probably just try and rush one of their inhibitors. You know, right now, Najin sword, you know, they have to make plays. They can't. I feel like Najin sword can't be engaged on right now, because if AZUBU Frost engages on Najin sword, then they won't be able to get that Kog'Maw as easily. Okay. However, if Najin sword engages onto AZUBU Frost, they'll, you know, they have the chance to just cut off Kog'Maw completely from that fight. So right now they're just trying to push down this bot lane, trying to get this inhibitor down, but I mean, both teams are like really strong right now.
Yeah,
both teams, you know, almost both teams maxed out on items, you know, like almost over 80,000 gold for each team. I mean, this is coming down to
this is epic endgame,
that one fight. Let's see, just some poking going around. Both teams knowing the importance of this next team fight.
Probably going to wait for the. Oh no, excuse me. They're going to go up here now.
Yeah, so it looks like they're trying to go towards that Baron area. Looks like they might try and cut off Najin sword, but you know, they'll just back out of that.
Some wards.
But yeah, but actually, AZUBU Frost's top lane is pushing. So Najin sword does have to back out, defend that top lane. Baron is also coming up, so you know, they want to be in that area. It's 2 birds with 1 stone, you know.
Yeah,
exactly. So it looks like a couple members from Najin sword going back to pick up those final few items. Buffs have spawned for both teams. Ezreal going to pick up red buff. Maokai going back to pick up, I'm guessing, his last couple items as well.
All right, so a little bit of regrouping. Epic endgame here, by the way, guys. Everybody obviously maxed out at level 18.
So actually, we have, I think, 5 Guardian Angels total in this game right now. We're going to be seeing, you know, a lot of killing and a lot of respawning during these team fights. Yeah, but it's coming down to this last one.
All right, here we go. The engagement is happening.
So the engagement, the wall going down. Malphite taking a lot of damage. Malphite getting stunned almost to death. Does not be able to use ulti. Zyra ultimate going down. Kog'Maw just raining damage down onto Najin sword. Doing so much damage right now.
Najin sword in a lot of trouble.
Wow, Najin sword
Kog'Maw
in a lot of trouble. Wow,
nice
but
flash.
Ezreal does not die from that. Lee Sin almost going down. I believe
I think he's gone.
He will go down. AZUBU Frost will be able to get this inhibitor. Only Ezreal up for Najin sword.
This is their moment.
Has his Guardian Angel. AZUBU Frost will be able to get this inhibitor. I don't know if they'll be able to end it. They quite possibly could if they take out Ezreal. If they can kill Ezreal, they should be able to end this game. They should win this,
yeah.
But
everything's on Ezreal right now. So, inhibitor going down, pushing forward. Only Ezreal and 2 turrets remaining. The closest player to spawn is 15 seconds away. I think it's very possible AZUBU Frost has turned this around. Oh my God!
Ezreal still not going down.
Minion spawning.
So it looks like AZUBU Frost will take this game.
Wow. That was sick. All right. Well, that was enjoyable to
wow.
cast.
That was.
You know, it came down to like the last that last battle.
Yeah, the last team fight, everything on the line. Wow.
Really cool, really cool.
Yeah. And actually,
wow, I love that.
Yeah.
That was really impressive. Poor Ezreal, there's really not a lot he could do but go like this back and forth next to the turrets. So,
yeah.
Awesome. Well, that was the best game we've casted so far.
Yeah, definitely the best game I say that we casted so far.
It was easily my top 5 for League of Legends casts I've had.
We have a replay.
Let's look at the replay.
So this is the final fight coming up. So Malphite gets cut off with that wall, gets stunned, and takes heavy damage from Kog'Maw right now. He has to flash out, so he decides to flash out because he's about to die, but actually he does die with that Ignite. The Sona ultimate coming down to stun Ezreal. Kog'Maw just standing in the back doing free damage onto Najin's team. Just an annihilation. There's so much damage coming out from Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw focusing down Ezreal, flashing in, almost finishing him off, but
wow. Really cool stuff.
Yeah. And that is what happens.
There's so much going on when you get to that final battle. But they handled that very well. I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, with Najin, I felt like the way they retreated, the whole situation there. Do you think, well, I think that was one of the things that went wrong. Do you think in that moment when AZUBU Frost was against the ropes, if you will, should they have just kept hammering away? Remember they were getting a lot of buffs. I said maybe were they waiting for the Baron?
Yeah.
Was that the wrong play, do you think? Or was it really just about that last battle, bad micro?
It's a little bit of both. I feel like Najin could have put more pressure on those inhibitors, than they should, because they just kind of danced around. They should have tried to go for those inhibitors earlier. They just waited too long for AZUBU to catch up. They waited too long to close out the game. AZUBU was able to farm up, get those items down, be on par with. Gold-wise, be on par with Najin's sword, and as I said, at the beginning of the game, AZUBU did have that stronger late game comp, so they were able to win those late game team fights and pull out the victory.
All right, we're gonna take a quick little break. When we get back, we're gonna have more League of Legends action here at GOMTV.net. So stay tuned.